So, is everybody else
I am
here?
also on the down.
We're recording, so just so you know,
Yeah, you might want to
this
leave to the
is
United States if you don't want to take part in the discussion.
this is being recorded and will be put on YouTube.
Okay,
Let's
I am
go.
on the down.
So the subject matter is it's really common for people that have an idea or have a product idea, whether it's physical product or it's a game or something, to want to keep it secret and kind of work on it in the dark, and they have a number of different fears and concerns and excitements about this idea.
Hmm.
And so right off the bat, it's really common. Everybody feels that. I feel the same way about a whole bunch of those things where I have a great idea and I'm like, oh man, I don't want anybody else to steal it. And it's like 20 years later and I've made no progress on it. And it just
No, yeah,
sits. And it's like, so that's always the natural tendency. Nobody, I think, has like a really good idea and then they're like, man, I could make money at this or I can make something cool, and then they just tell everybody.
I did the same.
So, Chris, you were saying you had made a comment about not showing models off to people and important things. And my response, I thought about it overnight because something you said, and then I don't sleep well, so I was actually not sleeping thinking about this. And so I brought it up the next day that I think at this point in time, with how marketing has been completely broken and advertising completely broken, and you can't really buy viewers like you used to. You really have to build a community. That the best option is actually to put as much out there as you can and build that community as early as you can and get super fans and people invested and really excited about it, because that's the power and what's going to make it successful in the long run. Because you already have to be doing that. If you're not doing that, then there's no way to be profitable, unless your idea is just something crazy. But even then, nobody will know about it. Like, what did it take Among Us? Like 4 years before it was something big, and that was because a YouTuber, a person, or someone picked it up and showed it to a whole bunch of other people and had fun with it.
yep.
When I started in, let's see, the late '90s, everything was pay per view, pay per click. So
Mm.
if you wanted anything, you would do exactly where that default. You'd keep it secret. You would make something really good. You'd make a trailer. You'd make a demo, and then you would just pop out of nowhere. You'd have it in all the magazines. You'd have maybe a TV ad, but that was even there was no YouTube, so it really went into PC magazines. Funny enough,
Mm.
that's where I saw all of the new games coming out was in a PC magazine in a grocery store because there wasn't any other media at that point, and
Yeah.
gaming back then was taboo. Today it's cool. It's acceptable. So I think today, because YouTube is broken advertising and Google has, you can't just go buy. Like I've tried. Let's see, during December um, this year, I put $1,000 into marketing. So Google has a deal where when you launch a product, they'll match you. So you put 500 in, they'll give you 500, or you put 200 in, they'll give you 500, or whatever. They have these deals. So I put $1,000 worth of marketing in to try to put my games out there and say, hey, look, check out this game. And I don't even think we got close to covering that $1,000. Whereas 5-10 years ago, that would have probably brought in, I don't know, 15,000 people. So
Mm.
my suggestion is to really focus more on community building, and especially with how now with YouTube's new rules, you only need 500 followers before you can start getting members, and they can start doing super chats and super thanks where they can give you money through
Yep.
YouTube. So I think you really start building that community right off the bat. Try to get as many super fans and people excited about it, and go that route versus being really secretive about it. What a lot of people will say that I hear is, well, but someone's going to steal it. Someone else will see what we're doing and then they'll take it. And, if it was like the newest, coolest toaster, yeah, you know, that's probably a good idea to keep it secret until you're ready to launch it and you have a million of them in stock, and then you're just going to sell them on QVC. China's going to steal it anyway, so it's going to happen. But there's not studios sitting out there with a team of 10 people looking at YouTube videos for some idea, and then they're going to spend the next 1 to 3 years of their lives making the idea because they saw it on someone else's YouTube.
Yeah.
I just don't think that happens. I think those people have their own dreams and their own goals and their own stuff, and maybe they see something that you're like, oh yeah, that's cool, I might add that. But that's like, who the fuck cares? Like, that's not worth keeping things secretive for. And the problem is, if you're really secretive about it and someone steals it, you have no ground to stand on. But if you're out there and you own it, then when someone steals it, your fan base and everybody stands up for you and says, wait a second, that's this guy's stuff. And you actually have more power behind you. Because it's
Yeah.
really hard to steal someone's idea if they're well known for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like keeping the standard right where you don't show anything about like really the storyline, you show mainly off the assets, bits of the gameplay,
Yeah.
even some parts of the soundtrack. Yeah, that makes sense, but
And the
shouldn't
storyline you
you
don't want to
also have
show because
make
you don't want to ruin it. Like, I
No,
don't want to know
exactly.
anything about Starfield right now. Like, I don't know anything. I'm not watching shit. I want to go in blind. So
Yeah.
all of the stuff that they put out kind of turns me off because it's just, in my opinion, it's too much world stuff. I want to see
Yeah.
world building when I play the game.
Yeah. But shouldn't you have like everything set up for like an actual grounded company before you start making like posts and videos and stuff? Like for
I
legal
just
reasons?
no, I think it's so indie in this industry is so indie. I just wouldn't suck the biggest risk to what you guys are doing is the team not staying together. It doesn't matter how many I kid you not, I've launched hundreds of projects, like products and projects and teams, and some of them in the millions, some of them internationally, and the number one issue is infighting between the group.
That
And they
makes
could
sense.
be millionaires or billionaires or poor ass people. It doesn't matter. The number one issue is they start fighting over something, or someone's feelings get hurt because they don't have interpersonal skills to communicate properly.
Mm.
And but they spend all this time focusing on a, they're going to spend $1 million for a patent on a product, but not spend any time on how to communicate to each other so that they keep the group together to actually get the product to market. I mean, you're gonna have to have like this relationship for 1 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So, that's the number one problem is getting everybody that starts to the end. All of the other stuff is I've almost very rarely ever an issue. And if it is, it's from someone like China where there is no ability to stop it anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to bring it down to just something as basic, but it's the same thing with the freaking your front door. You have a
Mm.
lock on your front door, but the window can just be shattered in a second, and they just walk through the window. Like, it's all an illusion, and copyright and patents and all of that's an illusion because most of the world doesn't give a rat's ass about it.
Yeah.
And if you just worked in the U.S. or in Europe and you were in like controlled environment, like I do stuff only in Colorado, yeah, that's really easy to get help. But once you do stuff internationally, you
Yeah,
know,
then you run into more issues because I know, like here in
yeah,
Canada, we don't. You're we can technically copy something that you guys have done in the States, and you guys might go after us for copyright infringement, but Canada doesn't honor American copyrights, nor does it honor any other countries. It
yeah,
only, but every other country, like you guys, will honor our copyright stuff, but we give no shits about yours, which is so funny.
yeah. And the same thing, like, so you're in Canada and you don't pay me. I'm gonna get an international lawyer. Really?
Yep.
I can't fucking like pay my bills. I'm gonna get a
Yeah.
lawyer. I'm just trying to be a game developer, right? Like, so it's just the problem of lawyers and legalese and patents and copyright are for rich people because you have to have someone to stand behind it. And if you can't afford that guy, there's no reason to worry about it. Just go out and see. My advice is out the the people that steal stuff, their weakness is they aren't creative. They
Yeah.
can't think of things. So the best thing you can do is be more creative than them and out create them and just constantly be creating and be bringing new things because they'll always be lagging in the crap, and that's fine. Let them have it. Keep moving forward, and the more you're well known for that forward stuff, the better things are. Anyways, you don't want to be dragging around crap and focused on that.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
and it's hard because your nature is protect, hide and protect, hide and protect.
Yeah.
But man, with the internet and like how much you need exposure, one video, one video could be the difference. I mean, for Among Us, it's one video made the difference between them being a game no one's ever heard of to them being a household meme
Yeah.
in the entire world. And think about it. If they were like, "Nah, let's not make that video because we're just not ready yet."
Mm.
Like, yeah. So that's why they say perfection is the enemy of
Of
profitability.
success. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yo, Chris,
Yeah.
do you remember any of your questions that you had said last time?
Well, I just wanted to speak upon what was just said, and that's like the same thing for Hightail, like how they announced it 2018, but because they haven't kept up with the community, and it's taking a lot longer. The hype has died down, and I'm sort of just like, yeah, it's whatever at this point. Like because they didn't, you know, like the community is what's holding it, everything up, and
Yeah.
they haven't really posted. They'll post like a picture during the holidays, like, "Hey, hope you guys are having a great time. Da, 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 da. We'll see you next year." And you're like, "Bro, what?"
Yeah,
Like,
but they
ill.
don't show any actual progress, yeah.
Right? No progress at all.
Feels like they
Right?
are just farming people for money.
And you
Right?
kind of
And I
have to make
mean,
a decision there too, like what kind of channel, what kind of person do you want to start building? In my opinion, and a lot of people argue with me about it. So like I said, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of different types of people, but the channels I watch have content that comes out at least 5 days a week
Yeah.
because most of us are creatures of habit and we're consuming the content every day. And so if you're doing content once a month, I think it's really hard to keep anyone engaged in this time that we live in. And if you're doing it once a week, I think you have a much better chance. But I think your goal needs to be by the time that you are launching this game, you need to have a few months of where you're like every day you have something out. And and maybe you have to figure out how you do that. I was suggesting that you have some kind of episodes that go along with the game, and that's how you kind of build out the world. Is you feed some actual episodes of just
Yeah, you talking like
cheap
kind of like Telltale
YouTube
Games
videos.
then,
Say that again.
or you talking like Telltale Games, or are you talking more like how Fortnite had like brief episodes between each season kind of thing, and people could go back
And
and watch
it's
all those?
yeah. I'm thinking it's just videos that they consume to get them. It's like raising a child or a baby bird. Like you gotta feed him just a little to get him started, and then you want to give him a little more, and you want to increase that, and then when the game comes out, you want to give them this game, and then you want to continue to give them content as the game comes out while they're playing it
Mm.
to build
And
with the game.
yeah, and while you're waiting for stuff to make the second game.
Absolutely. One of the things that I always dreamed of that I think is the real triangle of bringing this all together is every day they come to your channel and they watch a video, and in the video you give them a code and they put that code in their game that day to unlock special stuff, and every day they
Yeah,
can get special stuff, but they got to watch the video because now you have this feedback loop of, hey, we're feeding them content that they're interacting with, they're coming back to us to get more content, and we're getting their feedback because now they're commenting to us and they're saying, oh, we love this or we hated this or whatever, and you're
yeah,
taking that feedback, and that's so hard to get, and then you're making the next game while also providing some of these just video style, because you have all the assets to do you're already animating it. Like,
hmm,
it doesn't take anything to do voiceovers and just write a quick script and put it in. You already have all these ideas. Instead of having everything in the game, just have some of them are like a cutscene, and
yeah,
you put that out as a video every day. And it could be
yeah, yeah,
short. I mean, what are your TikTok videos, like 15 seconds? It
yeah.
doesn't
15 to 30
have to be
seconds. Yeah,
massive. I think I would try to have some that are the 10-minute that is a really good experience, and some that are 2 minutes and whatever. But the
yeah. Because there was
key is
this.
you're feeding them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like there was this like Lego show they called like something of the Monkey King, not Journey, but it was like. Anyways, the actual episodes were like 15 seconds to 25 seconds to 30 seconds long. So we can attempt something like that. What do
Yeah.
you think, Chris? I think we just have to find like voice actors and stuff because we can't just have like text appear on it then.
No, but even AI has gotten so good. A lot of the stuff you can just put in for an AI to do it, if depending on how much vocal expression you need out of it. But most of that stuff's so cheap and easy.
No, that yeah. Well, not so much
You
voice
want to
actors,
have a
but the AIs.
celebrity
Yeah.
do it? You literally can go pay him a few dollars and have celebrity voiceovers. I'm gonna do Kevin Sorbo because they all are signed up on that site and they have no problem of you using their voices for stupid stuff like this. Most of the time, you just have to ask.
Yeah.
They love being in games and all this crap. So you could literally
Fair
just
enough.
go find like your greatest like favorite like actor person or. But no, I all of those are fun things that I think the key right now is if you can connect the two together, that's really the sweet spot of what I think most people are missing. And you guys have such a great story and concept that I think it's really easy. I've been watching a lot of Ultima. Ultima's what started MMOs and all of this roleplay stuff kind of for
Hmm.
gaming. Like they're the first ones to do a lot of this. And they had in their game manual, so you'd get discs and it came with the game manual. The game manual had the story and world building in it that you were supposed to read before you started the game. and they had pictures of characters, and they had all kinds of like really cool stuff, and like the manual like folded out and had some like maps, and it was like so cool to like really engage you physically and tactile right away before you even started the game, and then you get pulled into this big world and all this stuff going on. And so I would use the videos like that, where you're using it to introduce them to the overall concept and kind of give some world building where they can just sit back and enjoy it, versus putting that at the beginning of the game and forcing people to watch it. Like, I love how Fable does their stuff, but at the same point, it pisses off so many people because it's so much, intro of the bird flying around and dialogue,
Yeah.
and they
Like
just
as
want to
cool as
get
it
in.
is, yeah. That's like when Pacific Rim came out and everyone's like, "Holy fuck, 3 minutes for an intro." It's like, come
Yeah.
on.
I get pissed because Warzone forces you to watch their fucking video on the updates. It's like, what? They won't let you bypass it. I think a lot of that stuff I would just push to the YouTube channel, and it's just such a better place for it as well, because then you get them as a follower, and then you can produce more. I mean, a lot of times when someone buys your game, you don't get them as a follower. That's really hard.
Yeah.
You have to work extra for that. So if you can kind of put it together.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thought is I would plan out, so as you build out your timelines and say, okay, like, we think we can launch this in 2 years, I would also plan out the timeline of, okay, well, we're starting here to build this YouTube channel and TikTok and whatever you're going to do, and we should be at this point, by this point, so that when we get to the launch date, we have this amount of content being published every week, and something every day, and we've got blah blah blah, and just have it all laid out.
Yeah.
I think that's where success comes from. You can make the best damn game in the world. Doesn't matter. Nobody sees it. Nobody's
It's
gonna play
flop,
it.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like the day before.
And that was
Sky,
my
you're
big
not even
point.
listening.
I think it's
Yeah, no.
6 to 8% is how many people on Steam make more than $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
So-
it's not that much, isn't it?
It's not. And so you really, if you want to be one of those that's actually getting out there, the other option is also is trying to connect with YouTubers along the way and influencers that can play the game and enjoy the game and can evangelize for you, because in all reality, that's what carries you for a long time as well, is if you can get that backing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, Chris, our favorites person does know quite a few. So if you want to go talk to them about joining the religion, I think you should definitely. If you want to do that, I ain't. I don't want to join that religion for YouTube.
You're talking about the mate Milix?
Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you. But
What
yeah,
is it?
so what I was going to say is also for like community wise, like we have it right here, like Blockbench. A lot of what I'm doing is going to be in Blockbench.
Sure.
I'm able to, post it on the showcase. And the thing is that I have a lot of people who hop on in here who see me streaming and who say, wow, dude, that looks really cool. What is this for? Is this for a mod? Is this for a game? Is this for whatever? And I mean, I don't even show anyone. Like I like, granted I show here, but I don't post it.
No, I
so
think that's absolutely a great networking. Just my only issue here that I found is that the people that are here don't play a lot of games.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention that,
Because we're all developers. I don't get to play a lot of
no,
games.
a
and
lot
if
of
I
the
do,
kids
it's
don't
not-
even play a lot of games.
I don't. If I'm playing, it's definitely not Minecraft. Sadly,
I
I'm
feel
playing
insulted.
something else.
You play no games, Matei. Don't you dare lie.
And
I play
I'm not
games.
saying,
Never heard
I'm
of a
not-
video
games.
game
I'm
in
not
your
saying
life,
a lot.
Matei.
I'm just saying like it.
You pathological liar.
I just don't know that the people here are the ones that are gonna spend the money.
no. I meant just to show people,
Oh yeah,
like, and to kind of
networking?
get them
Yeah,
hyped up.
No, no better
Like,
place.
whoa,
Yeah.
that model looks sick, dude. What's it for? Oh, it's for this game.
And that's why I stream. That's why I stream online. The same reason, because I found that it's the best networking you can do. I don't think there's better for a job. So yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
So which one of us is gonna make a
But
Twitch?
but it's not that consumable.
Twitch.
The problem is streaming's not as consumable as prepared videos that they can. That's why I can't get my channels to go, because I just can't. I can't bring myself to spend hours editing thumbnails and videos to make it consumable for YouTube.
If I had like
That's what's needed.
if I had the software for it, and like if this thing can run it, I would have absolutely no problem sitting and doing that. But
Yeah. The thumbnails, you don't really need much software. You could do that. That's more of being, style and able to make those damn things that people like. The video editing, it's just so time consuming, and
You can just make it in paint.net if you wanted.
oh yeah,
I use Premiere for video editing and After Effects, and I hate Premiere with a passion.
Microsoft Paint, my friend.
Well, you can't do video editing in Paint.
I wish. That'd be funny as fuck to be able to do it.
Yeah, Premiere's a video editor. After Effects is particle generator and special effects generator. There's nothing really that you can replace After Effects with, but you can replace Premiere with lots of things. I think it costs like $60 a month for access to all that shit. It's stupid.
damn.
Yep, but I've tried to use other
service.
software, and my productivity goes down so much. It's ridiculous how less productive I am.
Hello, Cicada.
Free stuff. Go ahead. Just jump in there.
Hey, Cicada.
Cicada's not in here.
Cicada's not here.
Oh man,
What the
that's good though. I want the drugs
What?
he's on.
What?
I mean,
That's
wouldn't you
funny.
look
I
first?
thought they were an